Wonderful. Welcome to the new episode of the Infinite Lifetime Sutra. I'm your host, Angelina. Okay, during the last episode, we have spoken up until about the Sanku. Okay, the three sorrows or the three worries. Okay, it is about the sorrow that comes from sorrowful incidents, the sorrow that comes from the end of association with happy incidents, and also the sorrow that is caused by changes. Okay, as we know, everything is impermanent, nothing stays permanent, everything is temporary. So when things change, then there is also pain, okay, inevitably. So today we are going to talk about the next section. Okay, this section, let me read it to you first. Okay, let me see. David 三苦 OK， 升观顶节，受菩提记，微教菩萨作阿舍利，常习相应，无边住行，成熟菩萨无边善根，无量诸佛心共护念。Okay, so today we're going to talk about this phrase. Okay. 升观顶戒受菩提记 Okay, for this one, it is about praising the great Bodhisattvas. Okay, the Bodhisattvas that we refer to are the types, just like those 16 Bodhisattvas we have spoken about earlier in other episodes, just like our Pusen Pusa. Okay, Samattabhadra Bodhisattva, those who take on the 10 vows of Samattabhadra Bodhisattvas. So for innumerable aeons, okay, countless of millions of years, these Bodhisattvas endlessly, okay, continuously sacrifice themselves to show, they come down in their quest to show others how to behave, how to be good, how do we. In fact, for this entire Infinite Lifetime Sutra itself, it is meant to teach those of us mortals, the normal human beings, for a way to ascend ourselves within this lifetime into a Buddha. Okay, so it is something that is teaching us to rise above, okay, from this polluted world. Okay, the things that we experience today is like all the corruption, right, all the greed, all that hatred that can cause all these wars and whatever else that you can think of, whether it is a real physical war or it can be corporate wars or even family family fighting each other in court, okay, just because of some money or something like that, right? There are a lot of such cases. All right, so the great Bodhisattvas, they just manifest themselves and to show us as an example on how to live, okay, how to become human. Okay, do we really know how to become human? If I were to ask really a serious question, do we know how to become human? Okay, you see a lot of motivation gurus and whatever not, they teach you how to make money, but if they really know how to make money, they will need to teach you how to make money, right? They don't need to enroll you in courses that cost you a few $100, and then or maybe they just put a huge price tag like few $1,000s, and then they claim that they're giving you a huge 80% discount, 90% discount, whatever, or even giving it free. Okay, that is something like a in modern terms we'll just call it a clickbait. Clickbait is like fishing. Okay, you put the worm on the hook and then you throw the hook into the sea, and then you wait for the fish to come and eat. You lure the fish, but the moment the fish catches onto the bait, all right, the hook will just pull the fish along, right? So this is actually a clickbait. So if you see they say something like incredible words, claiming that they write things like #1 bestsellers and stuff like that, then they create all these seminars or this whatever, and then they say that these are tested and tried methods and how they go from rags to riches, blah 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 blah. Okay, and then after that they ask you to enroll in their courses that were originally like a few $1,000s, and after that they giving it almost free and stuff like that. Okay, so this is actually a clickbait. For these commercial minds, there is no free lunch. Okay, and in fact, if you were to ask them to give something for free, they will definitely be asking what is in it for me, right? So there are a lot of things going on in this world, right? A lot of greed, a lot of anger, a lot of hatred, a lot of fighting against each other. So when a bodhisattva manifests, it comes and tells you how to live peacefully. Okay, just look at we don't need to go too far into the bodhisattvas. We look at the sangha community, or the community of monks. If you don't want to look at the monks now, because there are a lot of bogus monks as well, okay, when there are bogus monks, you will see that monkhood, there are for us lay disciples, there are 5 precepts. Okay, excuse me because I'm having a flu. No. For lay disciples, there are 5 precepts: no killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct, no lying, and no taking intoxicants. Okay, but for those who are already in the monkhood, they have a few more. Okay, they are like, some include like you cannot sleep on high beds. Okay, things that are to let you remember not to be too comfortable. If you want to cultivate, you should not feel too comfortable with this world. Okay, if you want to cultivate, you should not be holding money. Okay, when you go to the markets, for example, if you look around, you will see some who are collecting alms, right, with their alms bowl and whatever. If they go and collect food, then give it to them. If they go around collecting money, don't give them. Okay, give them food, give them water, but not give them money. Okay, true monks are not supposed to hold money. Okay, there is a reason for it. The reason being that they are to live on what people give them. Okay, if they need something, there will be those who will buy it for them. Okay, if in fact they should not be needing anything, right? If they are cultivating, they should not be asking or requesting for anything except for the basic needs. Okay, they have the basic needs. They have their ropes, they have their alms bowl for them to collect food. Okay, and then they have a sling bag for them to keep their extra piece of rope. Okay, so all the necessities are already there, and these days they are also already very lucky. They don't need to go sit under the tree or whatever. And because of international boundary laws, they also have their passport. They cannot be just going to any other country on free will. Okay, not like the olden times. So if you have to look at this entire thing, right, the entire build up of it, you can live by the bare necessities. Okay, they are wondering in the past, okay, when the Lord Gautama Buddha was here, they can just live under trees as a shelter. okay, moving from place to place, spot to spot. And occasionally there will be the great dana, like the kings or whoever, will just provide the shelter, provide the food, provide the opportunity, the space for them to share the dharma talks. Okay, but these are our bare necessities. If you were to ask, every time I'm asking, with your big houses, okay, like a few thousand square feet, big houses, at any one time, where are you? How big is the spot that you need? The biggest spot that you need is probably for you to sleep. Okay, you're accustomed to a king size bed, a queen size bed. Okay, that is just as big as you need to be at any spot and any time. Okay, like for example, right now I'm only seated on this chair. This chair is a space as much as I need. If I were to stand, I only stand like one one piece of mosaic. Okay, this is just how big. But because, alright, we need other stuff as well. Okay, we need a kitchen, we need a living room, we need a bedroom, we need a wardrobe and things like this. Sure, okay, we can have all these things, okay, but it's still just a shelter, a place for us to cover our heads, a place for us to weather against the storm, a place for us to keep our stuff so that we can use it when we go out every single day. Alright, but do we need all that kind of luxuries? Do we need to hog all that riches? Okay, you look at what's happening to most countries now, to some of the countries, especially the rich countries. Okay, I'm not going to put myself into trouble naming the countries. Okay, but we all know. Okay, we all know they will buy a lot of um, weapons. They will buy a lot of fighting crafts, aircrafts, they're fighting jets. They will buy a lot of arms for military use. Okay, they will drive people out of the country through war, through target attacks, bombing people, murdering people, killing all these people, and shooing them off from their only shelters. Okay, what is that? What's all that thing for? Right? Do we really need that much? At the end of the day, even in the past, some people say that you only need the size of a coffin. Okay, the size of your body. You might not even need the coffin. Like those who have died in the war, they fall on the ground. That is as much space as their body need. But they don't even need their body because the moment they die, their soul leaves the body. Okay, the body is just as big as the space that they need, right? But like now, if you were to look at myself, for example, I already bought a spot in the crematorium, okay, to keep my ashes. How big do I need in ash space? Okay, it's that small pigeonhole, right? I think it's like um 1 feet by 1 feet, one by one by one, right? Something like that. I just need that small space to keep the urn. Okay, so why do we need so much? Why do we want to hog? Why do we need to hog? A lot of us, those who understood, okay, those who understood, if you have to look at some like there was this Hong Kong actor, okay, very handsome looking, very I will say an actor whose name was rising. Okay, he was the son of a banker. So you can imagine he's very rich. The family owns the bank. So he got tired about life and he became a monk. Okay, all the riches, if you were to ask me, all the riches that he has, sure, his mother or his father could donate to the temples that he frequents, or put it as part of his donation to him to sponsor him as a monk and things like this. But at the end of the day, you just think of it, all the money that all these rich people they hog, okay, the millions and billions of dollars that they hog, if they were to use it, put it to good use, instead of putting it into ways and methods to control other human beings, okay, trying to play God. Okay, there are some who, you don't need to go too far. There are some people in the corporate world who just ascended to a certain position, and then they use words like, I am the one who decide, I say, and I it's me to say whether to do this or not to do this. Okay, when they use such words, you can imagine this person is power crazy, and ultimately these kind of people, they hog things. Okay, but all this hogging that they do, it is in contrary to, the Buddha had always said, to become a Buddha is one path, to lead the worldly way is another path. So you can imagine, it is actually two different paths, going two separate ways, two polar opposites. Okay, the more you hog, the heavier you go to that side, because you have more burden. More money means more burden. It gets heavier and heavier and heavier. Sure, it looks very nice. Oh, my bank account has so much, so much, so much money. But the moment you just imagine this, okay? You look at your bank account, I have so much money, and then after that, the next moment you are dead. Your breath does not come. You couldn't breathe, and you are dead. Well, what does all this money mean? Can you bring them with you? You cannot bring them with you. You will only bring dispute. Okay, if you have a will, your will show the distribution, but no matter how well crafted a will is, there will be people who will dispute the will in what they think as unfair. Okay? Even though you think that it's very fair, what you have done is very fair. Every child gets an even distribution, for example. There will still be that one or two child, if you have not taught them properly, they will still be thinking, oh, when he or she was alive, I was the only one taking care of him. Okay, I was the one, or maybe the elder son said, I am the elder son. Or maybe somebody just said that all of you were not there for him. I was the only one at the deathbed. Okay, I was taking care of him. So there will be a lot of arguments. There will be a lot of dispute. There will be a lot of things going on. And if you are a multimillionaire, you might end up, the family might have court cases, okay, fighting each other for money, okay, in what they feel is supposed to be their share. They just won't be contented, no matter how well the will is done. Okay, and then there will also be those, the moment you can't breathe, your breathing stops. That's the moment when you have to let go of every single thing, no matter how much you have inside your bank account, in all your company shareholdings, in every possession that you have. Okay, all your cars. Okay, I don't care how many cars you have. You can have your Ferrari, your Porsche, your Lamborghini. Okay, how many Ducatis, how many Aprilas, how many Triumphs, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay, because at the end of the day, when your breath stops, your breathing stops, all these things can't follow you. All these things will be left in this mortal world, right? So why do you accumulate so much? Why don't you, you know, use the opportunity while you're still alive to distribute? Okay, give it to your favorite charity. At least you know that these people that you're taking care of, they will have good use of the money. Okay, they will be able to do something for others with the money that you contribute. Okay, instead of putting it into, oh, I want to um become a mega trillionaire. Okay, so I'm going to invest a few $1 billion into this laboratory. I'm going to teach, I'm going to ask them to make a biological weapon. Okay, make everyone sick and make everyone die. Okay, and then I come up with this miraculous cure, a vaccine or whatever, and then after that I will make everyone pay money. Oh, you just imagine, one person pay $100. So everyone in this world, they will need this kind of vaccine. How many billions and trillions of dollars I'm going to earn? Wahahaha. So if you catch the virus yourself and your vaccine is not helping because your body is already infused with this pollution due to your evil thoughts, what if the vaccine cannot work on yourself? You are going to die. So all these people, they suffer because of you, and of course you need to pay in hell. Okay, pay for it in hell. You're gonna pay for a long time because you make everybody sick. You're gonna pay for a long time because you scheme to make people pay for the damage that you have done. Okay, so all these things, they're not going to be helpful to you. Okay, disregarding no matter how much you have. All right, at the end of the day, this is going to happen. Your breathing stops. Everything is left behind. Your breathing stops. All the people that you have schemed, they will see your eyes closed, or maybe some die with their eyes open. Okay, they will see, oh, this person is dead. That's all. Okay, sure, some people may have that kind of thing, like having the name being etched in history books. Some people may affect others in a bigger scale. If you're holding many directorships in many companies, there'll be a lot of paperwork. Okay, especially if all the companies that you're in are publicly listed companies, then your secretary will have a lot of work to do, because the other board of directors, they may need to find new director to replace you because of the quorum. Okay, and then there's a lot of paperwork to do the filing, a lot of money involved in all these administrative transactions, blah blah blah. Okay, it just bring a lot of trouble to other people, right? So how do the Bodhisattvas live? The Bodhisattvas live the other way, in the other extreme. Unlike you over here in this extreme, with all that burden, with all that money that you cannot bring. So the Bodhisattvas, what do? They manifest themselves as super rich. Okay, in the extreme example, our Buddha. Okay, he was reborn as he came down as a prince. Okay, he came down reborn from Tusita heaven world. Okay, and then he transcended as a prince in India, in a prominent kingdom. Okay, one that is so rich, so abundant that the the Brahmins of his time were saying that he will either become a universal monarch, okay, taking over his father's throne to control the entire world, okay, all countries in the entire world, or he becomes a Buddha. And there was only one who read his, that baby Buddha figure with a one finger, right? So it shows that he will only be that one, and that is the Buddha. Okay, so with all the riches, he abandoned all the riches, and yet he lived for 49 years. After his asceticism, he lived for 49 years, sharing the Buddha Dharma. He left home at a very young age. He wandered around during that time. He was demonstrating to us. He left home, he saw all the birth, death, disease, whatever, old age, whatever. So he saw all this and he left home to look for a solution, to look for that answer about life. That very question, why are we here? Why are we alive in this world? That was the answer that he was seeking for us. Okay, so he went through all kinds of asceticism. Okay, he lived as a meditator, so eating so little because they believe that after by eating very little, or you practice the extremes, then you will get the answer. He managed to go through the fourth jhana, the fourth stage of meditation. It was really good, right? But there was still no answer to the question about life, right? You touch his front stomach skin, you can reach his backbone. That was how thin he was. Okay, so upon that moment when he sat under the Bodhi tree and Sujata brought him the milk rice, he took it, and then he realized, oh, moderation, okay, the middle path. Okay, with the right mindfulness, right efforts, right everything. Okay, that middle path, the eightfold. Alright, so showing us all these things, giving us examples. Then there are also those great Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. They come down, they manifest themselves, but they don't show us who they are. Because as I've said many times earlier, the moment they expose who they are, the moment their identities are revealed, they will need to leave. They cannot stay on. Okay, for multiple reasons. So they show us, some of them manifest as monks. They go around, still staying in the jungles, in the rural areas where there is no electricity. Okay, so what do? They will chop trees, get firewood, right? They raise their own fires. They cook their own vegetables. They will gather things here and there. The villagers will provide them with alms food and things like this. They will cook for them, right? They will cook vegetables for them, and they will live a very simple life, just doing their stuff, showing examples of how peaceful they are. Okay, despite the scarcity, how peaceful they can be. Okay, but yet amidst all the peacefulness, if anybody were to approach them and ask for advice, they give the wisest advice ever. Is it because of magic? No, but it's because they understood. Okay, and they come down, they teach us, they show us by example of how they are by themselves. Okay, they live the life, they show us by living that kind of life, right? Instead of being that ultra mega rich, which they could, with their wisdom they could, right? If we talk about worldly wisdom, they should, but they don't. Okay, because they are those who have understood, they know how it is like. Okay, they realized, and they want us to realize, they do all these things not because they still need to do all these things. Okay, they do all these things because they want us to learn, they want us to realize what it is. Okay, so this phrase tells us about this, and it is a praise by the Buddha. Okay, by all the Buddhas. They're praising all these Bodhisattvas who come down and to show an example. Okay, some people, they come down, I don't know, just recently, right? I encountered a family with family problems, and they needed help for some reasons or other. Okay, they needed help to take care of their elderly parent. But the problem is that when I call up one of the prominent Buddhist society, okay, this is something which I would like to bring up and I would like to highlight, especially for those who claim to be part of some Buddhist societies. I just call up to ask if there is anybody who is able to help them, right? Instead of, there was another community. I called several communities. There was one community that said that, okay, what do you need? You let me know who needs it. How old is this person? How heavy is he? Is he mobile? Can he move? Okay, okay, this is all the information we need. Okay, we will try to look for somebody for you. Okay, that's all they say. But another was, after listening that the children were asking for help, I think she was probably a little bit arrogant, being the person in charge of a Buddhist society, of a club. Okay, she arrogantly said, "Oh, nowadays young people just don't take care of their parents. They don't know how to sacrifice. We have only one parent. We should sacrifice." Okay, true. I agree that people should sacrifice. But how are the children going to sacrifice? Okay, the family that I was talking about, they have college going children. Okay, do you mean to say that they should stop their children from entering or continuing their studies in college because they need to pay for the dialysis of the parent? Do they have that kind of money? They don't have that kind of money. So they're appealing for help, right? They're not even asking for money. They're just asking if there's anybody willing to take on a part-time job. They're willing to pay for it. But you know, dialysis, every single section, the actual true cost is 200 ringgit. Okay? With the sponsorship and whatever from those Samaritans, from the donors, they are there are some who manage to, reduce the cost to maybe like 120, 150, 160, right? But without knowing the background, this person who claimed to be taking care of the association of some Buddhist society put on a judgment saying that they did not sacrifice. Who is she to judge, right? Who is she to be telling others on how to live their life? She has a good life. Okay, this Buddhist society person in charge, she has a good life. She only has one mother to take care of, and she's already a retired person. She used to be some kind of a school's headmistress or something, somebody high, okay, some principal or something. So probably she is so used to being up there and not able to see what's going on with the suffering of those at the bottom. Okay, regardless of who you are, no matter how high you are in the society, never judge other people without even knowing them. Okay, without knowing what's going on with the families. All right, you have no right to judge them. Okay, you're not yet a saint, but by the moment that she opens her mouth and criticize them that way, this person is very clearly nowhere near what the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas are teaching us. Okay, she doesn't know. She doesn't know his family. Did she even know that this family, how they struggle? Did she even know the past karma of this family, of what's happening to them? Okay, she should be ashamed of judging them that way. She should be ashamed of herself for being a person in charge of a Buddhist society and yet judging other people without even knowing the background, without being able to see the karma of this family. Okay? Never do that. Repent and never do that again ever if you're listening to me. Right? So when we're talking about this, okay, all these great bodhisattvas, okay, when they descend to our world and showing us examples on how to live a life, how to live a life properly, okay, how to become a human. Do we really know how to become a human? You can be the person in charge of a Buddhist society and still not know how to become a human, right? Because of your ego, because you think that you've listened to so much Dhamma talk. She asked me to go and listen to the Dhamma talk. She said that these people should come and listen more to the Dhamma talk. If by that kind of attitude that she has, by the kind of judgment that she has, I will tell myself I will avoid the Dhamma talk of this place because it did nothing to help her except to feed her ego, to make her feel that she is already up there somewhere. Okay? Dharma talks are not supposed to be something to feed the ego. Okay? It is not something scholarly. You listen to the Dharma talk. It is for you to listen to the Dharma and reflect on yourself. Did you follow the teachings of the Buddha Dharma? If you start judging others and think of yourself as so great, you have not lived even 1/16th the part of the Buddha Dharma. Okay? Or maybe not even 1 to 1,000 parts of the Buddha Dharma. You don't judge other people. Okay? You can be so good organizing this and organizing that. You may be so good protecting this and protecting that. But the moment that you judge others without knowing the background and condemning them, saying that they are not good. How do you know that they are not good? Right? That judgment itself shows very clearly that you are not a bodhisattva. Okay, you're just somebody feeding your ego and spending your time. That's all. There will be merits to this, for this person to be supposed to be the guardian or protector of the Buddha Dharma in that society. Okay, maybe in front of others, she's showing an example. There will be some merits. She may go to the heavenly worlds, but she is still not delivered. She still won't become a Buddha within this lifetime. Okay, so all these, okay, those who show us the example, okay, the Bodhisattvas who has descended to show us examples, to let us know that we don't really how to become human, okay, how to live a life, a carefree life, a happy life, instead of chasing after the other extreme of the world. They go to this side of the world where they will be ascended, okay, to become Buddhas within one lifetime. Okay, they will be protected by the Buddhas. They will be well taken care of by the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. They'll be taken care of by each other. Okay, so this entire infinite lifetime sutra itself is actually the Dharma, okay, collected into a sutra to teach us how to become a Buddha within one lifetime. So that's why this entire thing, you see this phrase itself, to praise the Bodhisattvas, is actually also to praise us if, let's say, we are able to live to how this book was teaching us. We read the sutra, we understand, we follow accordingly. This is how they all these things will teach us what is the way to become a Buddha within one lifetime. Okay, if you think that I don't want to become a Buddha in this lifetime, I still want to enjoy being a human, right? You can still live to this, and you can still use the merits of your practice to ask to be reborn as a human in your next lifetime. But that will be a waste, because you could have become a Buddha within one lifetime by dedicating your merits to go to Western Pure Land and be with Amitabha. Okay, so we shall end today's session, because I think it is already 38 minutes. Okay, your attention span is just that long. Okay, so we shall continue again in the next episode. Until then, please take good care of yourself. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye bye. Amitabha.